welcome and welcome you all to my channel. If this is the first time of coming to my channel, thanks a lot. Don't forget to give the video thumbs up, like, share and subscribe. So basically, let me show you guys my outfits for today. So we have this simple circle top, double layer circle top, and guess what, guys? We made this simple top here on this channel. So I'm going to link the details down below so you can go ahead to watch it and rock your simple double layer top. And one thing I love about this top is it is actually very free and it is comfortable, and you can make this simple top with just 2 yards or 2 meters of fabric. So this is what it looks like. So yours could be 3 layers, yours could be 2 layers, and yours could be a single layer. So now let's move to today's class. So for today's class, we are going to be making a simple video on how to cut and sew a shirt. So what this basically means is that you have a trousers, but in this case, your trousers doesn't exceed your knee, like your knee length. So yours could be above your knee, yours could be exactly on your knee. So it is actually ranges, and yours could be very short. So it depends on where you want your length to get up to. So but for the full detailed trousers class, we have it here on the channel. I'm going to link it down also, so you can just go and watch it in case you don't know how to cut a full male and female trousers. So what are the basic measurements? If this is the first time of coming to my channel, let me first appreciate you guys. If this is the first time of coming to my channel, thanks a lot. Don't forget to give this video thumbs up, like, share, click on the subscribe button and turn on the bell beside the subscribe button. So you can join us on Facebook. Sewing is Fun by 3D Designs. We discuss fashion related topics, which also treats styles, making use of simple illustration, also on our Facebook page. And also you can join us on Instagram, where we release short clips, short videos on how to make simple dresses. So on our Instagram handle, we have Thank God Designs. So all the details will be at the description box below. So what are the basic measurements required for a shirt? We have our waist measurements, our hip measurements, and our trouser length. So we are going to go ahead now to calculate our measurements. So our waist measurement is 32. So 32 plus 2 divided by 4 plus 1, we have 9.5. While for our hip measurement, plus 2 divided by 4 plus 1, we have 10.5. And for our trouser length, which is 20 inches, I'm going to go ahead and deduct 2 inches. Why am I deducting 2 inches? If you want yours to have like an external band, you want yours to have a band, then you go ahead and deduct 2 inches. But if you don't want yours to have a band, let's say you just want to cut a simple short making use of elastic, then you retain your measurements. So in case you are confused, if you want me to show you guys the video on how to cut a trousers with elastic, just comment down below. But for today, we are going to make use of the one that has a band. So I'm going to deduct 2 inches minus 2 inches. Why did I deduct 2 inches? Because my band is going to be the 2 inches. So I have 18 inches, and I'm also going to add my sewing allowance to it, my folding allowance or hemming allowance, which is about 2 inches. So I'll go ahead and plus my 2 inches. So plus 2 inches. So I have 20 inches. So in total, I'm going to have a total of 22 inches. So I hope you guys understand this basic calculation. So basically, one of the challenges people have when they want to cut trousers is how to get your crotch. Okay, how to get your crotch, how to get your flap. So another measurement required when you want to cut trousers is actually your crotch measurement. What do I mean by your crotch measurement? It simply means you measure your round lap. It can be called crotch or your round lap. So I'm going to call it round lap. So my round lap is 22 inches. So my round lap is 22 inches plus 2 inches for my sewing allowance plus 2 inches. I have 24 inches. So for us to get the flap, I'm going to tell you guys the easiest method to get your flap when you are cutting. So these are the measurements required. So now let's move to the pattern. So we are going to make use of pattern paper. Now this is my pattern paper. One thing I love about this pattern paper is it is about 60 inches long. So look at where it gets up to basically. So this pattern paper actually gets to your shoulder level, which is about 60 inches, and I think every pattern drafter should have this pattern paper. And also another feature about this pattern paper is it has a shiny face and a dull face. So you can use your shiny face to cut your back and your dull face to cut your front. So with that, it is very easy for you to identify which pattern belongs to which. And in the case of making use of this pattern paper, you don't have the opportunity to join. Why? Because this is 60 inches. So you can actually achieve your full length of a dress, of a mermaid dress, making use of this pattern paper. And it is also in bundles, so it doesn't come in form of pieces. So this pattern paper is available at our store. So if you want to order for this pattern paper, I'm going to put down the details down and also on the screen, so you can place your order for your pattern paper. So now let me show you guys how to achieve that. So the first thing we are going to do now is to make use of our hip measurement. Our hip measurement is approximately 11 inches. So I'm going to mark my 11 inches this way. Like, what we want to do now is to use our hip measurement to get a box. So you mark 11 inches and you also mark the midpoint of your hip inches. Mine is 5.5 inches. So I'll go ahead and mark it all the way down. 5.5 inches, 11 inches. So I mark my short length, which is 20 inches. So I mark my short length, which is 20 inches. Now I also mark this way, 5.5, 11 inches. So making use of my pattern master, I will use my pattern master to connect the lines together. So it gives you like a form of a box. Okay, you have a form of a box. You have a form of a box this way. So you have your box this way. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to straighten up this edge. So I'll straighten up this edge. So I have my box. Like, this is a complete box. So when you've done that, the next thing you have to do now is to mark your waist measurement. So my waist measurement is 9.5. So 9.5 divided by 2, because we are going to make use of the midpoint for it. So if you want to divide easily, just fold your tape measure this way to get the midpoint. So mine is around 4.7, 4.5. So I'll place this 4.5 at this midpoint here, because, okay, let me cut this out as a box so you guys can see it clearly. So we have our box already. So what we are going to do now is to mark our waist measurement. So I said my waist measurement is 9.5. So I'm going to place it this way to get the midpoint. So this is the midpoint. What you have to do now is to place your midpoint. Like, what we want to achieve, right? Let me just explain. What we want to achieve is this. Your waist measurement is 9.5, but you want to divide the 9.5 in two places. So you have your 4.5 by the right hand side, 4.5 by the left hand side. Do you understand it? So you have like 4.5 at the right hand, 4.5 at the left hand. So after getting your box, this is what it looks like. So you're going to mark your basic measurement, okay? So our waist measurement is 9.5. So 9.5 divided by 2. So all you just do is to fold your tape measure this way to give you the center point. So this is our midpoint. You now place this midpoint at this middle line. Okay, place your midpoint at this middle line. So you mark what you have, 9.5. So it simply means that we've divided our waist measurement into 2 to fit into this box. Don't forget that when we made use of our waist measurement, we divided our waist measurement by 2. We divided our waist measurement by 2. So you also divide your waist so that it can fall in between. So now from our waist to our hip, your distance calculation is 9 inches. So you mark your 9 inches. Mark your 9 inches. So you make use of your pattern master to connect your 9 inches to indicate where you want to mark your hip measurement. Now at this point, mark your hip measurement. Of course, we divided our box with our hip measurement. So it simply means that your hip measurement is like, this is where you have your hip measurement, exactly where your box is. So you can still go ahead and mark it. Now at your hip measurement, come down with 1 inch at your hip measurement. So if your hip measurement is 9, you come down with 1 inch to give you 10. You come down with 1 inch to give you 10. So I mark my 1 inch, which is 10 inches. So I ruled my 10 inches now. So this is where our 10 inches is. So at that point, mark your crotch measurement. What is our crotch measurement? We said our round lap, okay, our round lap is 24. We divide that 24 by 2, okay. On the board, we have to divide the 24 by 2. We made the mistake. So divided by 2, we have 12 inches. So we mark our 12 inches this way. You can see that your crotch is going to come outside your box measurement. So you mark your crotch this way. And so for the lower side of your round lap, which is your knee measurement, you can maintain it all the way down, or you just make use of your hip measurement. It depends on what you want, either pencil or whatever, but basically this is your round lap measurement. So you just mark the same thing at the lower part of your short. Now what you have to do now is to connect. You can see naturally that your round lap will exceed your hip measurement naturally. So you use your, okay, let me use my free hand. Use your free hand to connect it in form of, so what you just do now is to connect it like in form of your armhole to where your crotch measurement came out from. And so making use of your pattern master, you now connect this your crotch measurement back to your hip length. You now connect it back to your hip point, so it gives you that form of a trouser shape. So at this point also, you make use of your pattern master. You connect your waist measurement to your hip measurement, your waist measurement to your hip measurement, and then you connect it all the way down. So this is what you have for the front block. So for you to get this flap, your waist measurements, come down from your waist measurements with about 1 inch, and then you mark your round lap. So when you mark your round lap, you measure where you want your trouser length to get up to, okay, either pencil or you want it to be palazzo. You just measure it at the lower side and you connect it together. So this is for the front block. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. So while I'm doing that, please give this video a thumbs up, drop your questions down, tell us topics you would love us to treat, okay, and you can join us for training. We have training, both physical training and online training. So basically this is what our front block for our trouser pattern, our short pattern looks like. So this is the front. We are going to use this front to cut the back, but one thing you should take note of why you want to cut the back block is because of the excess. Okay, let me place it on the paper to explain better that way. So when you want to cut your back pattern. What you just do is that you place your front block on your pattern paper and you tape it down. Make sure you leave allowance at this point where we have our crotch. So you can go ahead and remark your box if you want, or you can just tape it down like you want to trace the front and the back. So the difference between our front block and the back block is very easy. So the back block, basically because of the bottom, so that is why we have to add allowance to the front, to the back. So what you do now is at this your crotch point, you mark 2.5 inches. So you can mark 2.5 inches, you can mark 3 inches. It depends on how fat or how the person has like a big bum, okay? So for me, I use 2.5. So when you come down, you use 2 inches, and at the lower side I can make use of 2.75. So at this point you can make use of 3 inches. While you decrease, you also decrease your measurements. Let's say you make use of 3 inches. When you come down, you can use 2.5, and 2 inches. So you just have an extra. So with that, what you are going to do now after extending your measurement is to connect your lines together. So your crotch line still remains the same. This is where our crotch line is. So it still remains the same. You only extend your crotch line. So when you extend your crotch line, you now connect your new line for the back block together at the lower side. So you have this coming this way. Now at this point also where you have your crotch, you also add up to it. So make use of 3 inches or 2.5. It depends on what you want to achieve. So make use of 2.5 inches. So this becomes our new crotch. This is the crotch now for the back block, because basically in the back block we are going to add allowance to it. So this is what it looks like. Now at this upper part also, add 1 inch at this upper part this way for your back block. Add 1 inch at this upper part. So you make use of this. Make sure that this point is equal, either your front or your back. Let these points be equal. We only want to add on the area on one side, so you have like a slant line coming this way. So you connect this together. So this becomes your back block and this becomes your front block. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut this out and show you guys how to place it on your fabric and cut this out on your fabric. So if you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, please do so. Click on that button and turn on the bell beside it. So when you turn on the bell, it gives you a notification when a video comes up. So you can see this. I'm going to go ahead and just detach this together. So this becomes our back block and this becomes the front block. So now let's transfer it to the fabric. So when you want to cut on your fabric, all you have to do is to fold your fabric into two this way, and you can see from your pattern one edge is actually straight. So this straight edge, you just place it where your fabric is straight. So you go ahead and pin this down and cut it out. So let me just do that. So after cutting it out, you can see you're going to have 2 pieces for the block, for the front block. So you set that aside and you also do the same for your back block. So you fold your fabric into 2 and you place your back pattern on it. You place your back pattern on it. So you just go ahead and also cut this out. So I'll set my pattern aside. So this is what we have. So we have 2 pieces for the back block, and you also have your 2 pieces coming this way for the front block. So because this is going to have a band, so we are going to go ahead and cut out our band. So for the band, all you have to do is to fold your fabric into 4. You mark your waist measurement and you leave 2 inches for your either your zipper or your button. Okay, so we have my waist measurement is 32, so I'm going to cut about 18 inches. As it's divided by 2, I folded my fabric into 2, which is 18 inches. And don't forget that the width, we left 2 inches for the width. So while you want to cut, you add about 1 inch or 1.5 inches while you want to cut. 1 inch is okay. So you're going to use the 1 inch to turn and also to join it to the trouser pattern. So I'll go ahead and cut this out and show you guys what it looks like. So this is basically what our band look like. So now I'm going to move to the sewing room to show you guys how to couple this together with your band. So now let's move to the sewing room. Hi guys, so this is what we have. So we have the front block and the back block. So the first thing we have to do now is to join this side together. So I'm going to go ahead and sew. This is where we have our flap region. This is where our flap is. So we just go ahead and sew this all the way down, making use of your round lap measurement. So once I'm done with this, I'll show you guys what it looks like. So after sewing it, this is what we have. So the next thing you have to do now is to go ahead and sew this second part. So what you want to sew is our round lap is 20 inches. So we mark 10 inches. So we have 1 inch at this point. So you sew it all the way down. Like make use of your round lap to measure this down part and sew all the way down. So I'm going to do that and show you guys what it looks like. So after sewing it, this is what we have. So by the time you turn it up to the front, you can see we have like a complete one pair of legs. So this is like a complete one. So you go ahead and do the same for the second piece. So after joining it at the both sides, I'll show you guys what next you have to do. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, like, share and subscribe. So this is what you are going to have. So you can see our two pairs of like our two legs. So you open up this your flap point, this middle point of your flap. So you this middle point of your flap, this is the middle point of your flap. You also take out this middle point. So you join the both sides together, like let this middle point meet with this middle point. So this is what you are going to have now. So you have your opening coming this way. So you go ahead and stitch this all the way round. So after doing that, I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. So this is what we have now for the trousers, for the short. So you can see the two legs. So the next thing we have to do now is you can see the two legs. So the next thing we have to do now is to take up our band. So our band, we are going to go ahead and sew this all the way down. So after sewing it, just to turn it out, okay? So let me just do that and show you guys what it looks like. So after sewing the sides, just the two sides, so you go ahead and turn it out this way. You go ahead and turn it out this way. So this is basically what your band is going to look like. So now you take up your shirt. So this is our band. So what you have to do now is to go ahead and loosen down like one of the sides of the trousers. So you determine either your right hand side or your left hand side where you want your zip to fall to. So that is why I opened up this side. So you now take your band and you sew your band this way. You sew your band this way all the way round. So I'm going to do that and show you guys what it looks like. So guys, after fixing the band, this is what we have. You can see our shirt is getting ready. So this part we opened, we are going to go ahead and fixing our zip. So all you have to do is just to sew your zip this way. Okay, let me show you guys how to do that. just fixing your zip this way. So you go ahead and sew it all the way down. So after doing that, I'll show you guys what it looks like. So guys, after fixing in your zip, this is basically what you are going to have. So the next thing you have to do now is to go ahead and hem the lower side of your shirt. So I'm just going to go ahead and fold this and show you guys what it looks like. Guys, basically this is what our shirt looks like. So give this video a thumbs up, like, share and subscribe. So you can go ahead and fix pockets if you want yours to have pockets by this side. So we have a video on how to fix your pocket, so you can go ahead and watch that. But for this shirt, there is no pocket. We just made use of our zipper at one side of the shirt. So thanks so much for watching this video. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.